Kind of sucks that Dylan's not here to tell me if our levels are good or not. I mean,
we sound good.
As long as that light's not going crazy on the interface, this one right here, when that starts flashing red, that means we're peaking the mic and it sounds like shit. When I was listening to the Country Cody interview, I like a lot of the time I could barely hear myself on the replay.
Right.
I didn't know that was going down. So,
well, when I was doing it from the house,
you sounded fine the whole episode. Or no. The previous episode where you were here, you sounded fine, but also I was still having like.
Right. But over there, I could hear myself. So I had to learn how to just talk and not listen to myself because I can hear your microphone was picking up me coming in.
Are you talking about the echo on your voice?
So it's kind of weird. You start talking, then you hear yourself talk, and you're like, what was that? So
it's so annoying. I've been in the studio before where they had like a latency issue going on, and and this was like the early days, but I'd be trying to rap, and this thing's like lagging in my ear and throwing me off because words I've already said, it's now catching up, and
right.
And they didn't know how to fix it. Man, I've had some crazy studio experiences. One time in Wyoming,
at band camp,
we agreed. We agreed we were gonna retire.
You agreed.
I begged to get rid of that. I don't know why it bothers me so much because I've heard it. I guess because
that's why I keep doing it
my entire life, dude. Like you can't say this one time without some asshole. At band camp, first of all, it interrupts. Second of all, it's stupid. It wasn't even that funny in the movie.
Well, she put a flute up there, so that's what.
That's disturbing.
You should just say a trombone. Okay, so you was in the studio.
Well, this one time in Wyoming, I met this dude. He was a pretty hefty black feller with dreads, and I think his name was City. I think it was like CITI. But anyway, we got to talking, and I was like, yeah, I'm looking for a recording studio. There's not really a lot going on in Cheyenne, Wyoming in terms of one. And he's like, oh, I have one, man. I can record you. So I pull up to his house one day, and I go into his studio, and he's got it set up, but the headphones were Dora the Explorer. Bright pink, like children's fucking Dora the Explorer.
Did it say play school on them?
Yeah, like a little kid's fucking headphones, and I'm like, "What the hell is this?" He's like, "Look, man, I don't have." He's like, "I don't have the real stuff right now. I mean, all my equipment's real, but I'm in between headphones, so we gotta." I was like, "Bro, don't tell anybody that you operate a studio until you get those headphones, because like I want to leave now. I'm scared." He's like, "But I'm also only charging you $20," and I was like, I mean, that's fair. What do I really expect for $20? I just didn't expect Dora the Explorer headphones. I felt fucking silly, and I'm glad nobody. I kind of wish somebody was there with a camera, cause
started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Yeah, dude. What else was there? There was another guy I ran into, Anthony Hyde, the Demon Duran. He's dead now, but he had a little more of a better studio setup, but it was like in a loft, and it was so weird because like the ceiling is that convex, right?
Yes.
When it's like a pitch, like a tent, and I mean it was cool though because it was kind of like it reminded me of that movie. What was it? The Secret Window with Johnny Depp. I think.
I don't remember. It
reminded me of that atmosphere, but. He always had beer cans everywhere, all over the place, like all over the desk. Picture this thing full of just like alcohol containers. And I was like, damn, bro, you drink, huh? He's like, yeah, and just work on music. And he was a crazy person, but he recorded like a whole, I think this is a little too much. He recorded like a whole mixtape for me. It was my first official mixtape. It was called Dirty White Boy. And I think I still have a copy somewhere, but when you listen to it, it's so rough. But back then, we thought we were doing the shit. We were like, this is the best quality in fucking Wyoming, bro.
Go ahead. You got to push both buttons to record.
I don't, honestly, I wish that I paid more attention to the stuff because I was always too focused on just the microphone and the lyrics, so I didn't really pay attention to what he was using. I just remember, plus I couldn't fucking see anything anyway. There were so many alcohol containers all over the place, and that's why he died. He drank too much, and then, he died from that. R.I.P. But he gave me a chance. I think he ended up only charging me a few times, and then we still did a 10-song mixtape, and most of it was for free. And then he put me on my first show, and then some other shows. We did a show at a hemp farm on the border of Wyoming and Colorado, and when I first got there, the first 2 people I ran into weren't people, they were goats. Just 2 goats running around. And I was looking around like there was nobody there. I was like, how are you going to tell people to pull up to a hemp farm and nobody's here? Like, who's tending the farm? Where are they at? It was crazy as fuck. And then I saw like they had this platform stage. Like, it was so fucking weird, dude. It was like maybe like 2 feet off the ground and maybe like a 6x6, just enough for 2 people to be on there. Maybe some monitors.
We got 1 piece of plywood and some cinder blocks.
But a lot of people came, and there was food trucks even. And in the building, there was just this smokers area, and everybody was just burning down, dude. It was like a Cheech and Chong kind of vibe. Everybody was getting faded and like eating edibles, and it was just hippie paradise, and it was so strange. But it was a good time. And then a dude, this fat couple, the dude was like, hey man, you were dope out there. And I was like, thanks man. And then like shortly after that, he like hit his girlfriend. Or they started beating up on each other. But he started it though, you know. He was the aggressor.
Well, I was at the gym earlier, the boxing gym.
Just watching?
No, I was coaching. And one of the kids, he's like, hey, I listened to the podcast. I went, what? He's one of the kids we've had for a long time. He's like, yeah, I had an 8-hour trip, so 8-hour car ride. So he put on our podcast and was listening to it. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Which one? Do you know?
That's what I asked him. He goes, I don't know. I was listening to, he goes, I had an 8-hour ride. So I was like, all right, cool.
So he pretty much, because this is episode 9?
Yeah. He
could have listened to damn near all of them.
Yeah.
Well, some of them are like 2 hours though, but close to it.
So he like, well, you know, JR's got more views. I'm like, dude, we just started.
Who's JR?
Well, I don't want to mention his name and give him any. Joe Rogan.
Is this person a little touched?
No, well, yeah.
Like a little?
Yeah, with that.
Like how many times has he been hit in the head?
A lot.
Like a lot?
Yeah.
Because that was probably one of the dumbest things. So imagine
he's a 16-year-old kid.
Bro, we got 9 episodes. How old is Rogan? And he's in his 50s?
Yeah.
He's been doing this forever. Like we got 9 episodes. This dude's like, I hate it when people do that because they're like, oh yeah, dude, like, but you're not making numbers like Wayne or Jay-Z, and it's like a lifelong veteran compared to like somebody who basically just got started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So well, he's been with us for a long time, so we're always busting balls. You know what I mean? So I was like, well, duh, you know. But thanks for listening anyway.
That's funny, dude. That's funny as fuck. Joe Rogan.
You know,
well, dude, we technically.
Well, he didn't say that he was better. He goes, well, he's got more views. I went, duh. Yeah.
I got mixed feelings about Rogan's show. I only listen to it when he's interviewing somebody that I know who it is.
I think it's ran its course.
It's too long, man. They go for like 5 hours.
Well, you know, that's his name is his moneymaker, but
I remember there was a phase where I was into his podcast and I listened to it daily, but then it started getting longer and longer. And I found myself, it took me a week to listen to one episode. And then by then he's dropped so many more. I think he's in the thousands.
I'm not sure. But you know, it's just, like I said, I think it's ran its course. Like if he stopped for a little while, I think it'll make him better when he comes back.
No, I disagree because there's still people that he hasn't interviewed yet. He hasn't interviewed Andrew Tate yet. He hasn't interviewed Donald Trump yet. He hasn't interviewed.
I don't think that'll ever happen,
dude. But it needs to.
I don't think it's going.
I mean, Tucker Carlson is interviewing all these people. You know, if Rogan's going to do what he does and be one of the most important podcasters and almost the voice of reason nowadays, he should be interviewing everybody, dude.
Tucker Carlson has more legitimacy than Joe Rogan does.
In terms of politics or just in
A platform, well, either left or right, but just a platform. Joe Rogan is just the guy from Fear Factor.
I guess, man, but he always wants to.
I'm not saying he's not good.
He always wants to ask the big questions and open stuff up. So open up everything,
Right. Well, I mean, look at when he had the guy from Tesla.
Elon Musk?
We had Elon.
That was a good episode. He showed up with a flamethrower.
Well, Elon Musk took a hit and
he didn't inhale it.
No, but his stocks dropped like $4 or $5 billion.
Really?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Overnight, boom, like that.
They made that into a piece of art. You can get a canvas with Elon holding the joint, making that weird face,
and he lost millions and millions of dollars overnight.
I don't think he cares.
No, but it's the ones, the money people. I'm not talking about us normal people that watch Joe Rogan or podcast. The money people said, pull our money out.
He just recently told them to go fuck themselves too. The
Well,
advertisers.
Right, but I mean, this is what, 5 years ago? How long ago when he did Rogan's show? Was it 5 years?
I think he's done it multiple times, but I think that episode was
that was like the first one he was on.
Was it like 2017 or 2018?
It was before COVID, I believe.
So yeah, 2018.
Ain't that something now we talk about before COVID and after COVID when a time frame happens?
Dude, I gotta be honest with you, man. Like life before COVID, life before 2020 was pretty friggin' sweet, dude. And it's crazy because I didn't have any of this. All I had back then in 2018, I got an efficiency apartment and it was with some Cuban people. So they didn't speak any English.
Cubano
Chicanos.
Let's see.
I got my Cuban link just for them. So basically they had this house out in Lato and the whole right side they had turned into an efficiency apartment. So when you walk in, the front room I turned into my studio, and it was a tiny room, but it was enough to have like stuff like this.
Right.
And then the next room was my bedroom, and then there was a closet in there, and then right across from where the bed was, there was the bathroom, and then there was a kitchen, and it was all separated. It was really cool.
Gotta keep them separated.
Offspring, yeah. Boomer joke. But yeah, man, it was dope. And I mean, I lived alone. I mean, I did have to deal with them because they would talk really loudly on the other side of the wall. So I hear Spanish chatter when I'm trying to record music, or like since the studio was where it was, they'd be outside the front door fucking jabbing, and they'd be really loud. And I'd have to sit there and wait for them to stop. Cause I remember I didn't hear them because I was in the middle of recording and they came out there and started chattering. So during my playback, I could hear fucking Cuban Pete in the background just fucking. Dude,
I would have left it in there. They'd be like, "What is he saying?"
Yeah, but there is one song where something did get left in there, and I never caught it until like way down the road. But if you listen to R.I.P. with me and Bam the Heathen, in I think it's the chorus, you can hear me faintly say "Moose Knuckle" because I was saying, "Do it again, Moose Knuckle" to Bam. And it got skipped because it's so faint, but you can hear it. But yeah, dude. So that place was sweet, man. And like, I was single back then, and I wasn't attached to anybody, and I wasn't getting over anybody. You know, I was free, and everything was cool, and I was just working and making music. And right around that time, we did all them Jelly Roll and Struggle shows.
Name drop.
Well, it's what it was. I mean, what am I going to call it?
Dude,
back then we did that.
Come on, man. I'm just busting your balls here.
Back then we did that no-name tour. Guy's really famous now, though. Can't say, though. I don't want to get in trouble for name dropping. No, but yeah, so all that was going down, and I was just hooking up with promiscuous females, no attachments. So it was pretty sweet, dude. It was, and I was right around the corner from my job, so I just rode a bicycle there.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, and everything was pretty chill. No drama, no nothing. And then I think I lived there for maybe a year. And then I moved in with a buddy of mine because I got tired of living there because I found black mold. And also when it would rain, it would leak under the front door, and my studio was in there. So I had to put my tower off the floor onto the thing. And I was like, damn, bro, place kind of a shithole. I can't believe girls even agree to come here. You know, luckily I'm not trying to cuff them.
cuck them. What?
I mean, it wasn't.
Did you say cuff them or cuck them?
When you're in there, it's not so bad. Oh, I mean, I'm down for some reverse cuck action. Reverse cuck action. I wouldn't mind. Dude, like you're hooking up with a chick, there's another one in the corner getting off to it. That'd be kind of cool, right? Like it's their turn, you know? They've done it to men enough. But anyway, yeah, it was tight, man. But like after a while, I was like, all right, so there's black mold and it rains under the front door.
Now, was it just the mold black or you knew it was black mold?
I knew it was black mold.
Okay.
So I made the decision. My buddy had just broken up with his fiance, and he lived like right down, maybe 10 minutes down on Waters. Because this was in Lato off of Dale Mabry in the Spanish neighborhood.
Yeah, that's way up there.
And it was pretty What do you mean way up there? Way up there?
Lato? It's
like basically Carrollwood. Like if you go down a little ways, you cross over into Carrollwood,
right,
with the Brass Tap and all that, and then you go down a little ways past the Walmart, and that was the neighborhood I was in. So maybe like
it used to be way out there.
You're way out there, you know that?
Well, when I moved to Tampa when I was 18 in 92, Gordon Chevrolet was the farthest thing out. Carrollwood was a new subdivision, right? So that was the new rich neighborhood was Carrollwood. So that's how long it was still open out there. There was still farmland out there.
Yeah, well, this is all pretty metropolitan.
Yeah.
But he talked me into moving in with him, and the apartments down the street is called Innovo on Waters. It was a decent place, but a lot of scoundrels live there. And I agreed to it, so I gave up my, solitude in my shitty apartment for camaraderie and a nice apartment, which it was cool at first because I technically upgraded. I had my own bathroom in my room. Like, it was dope. I invite people over and it's like, oh yeah, it's a nice place you got here, man. It's like, oh, there's a pool out there. What, dude? But yeah, so that was cool. And then I had just agreed to do a bunch of shows like Tom McDonald and Rehab. And me and Bam were starting to make music. So like all that started, like all the Heathens shit started with music.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met this girl at one of the shows, and I got with her, and it was really dope. She was really cool, and everything was just awesome, dude. And then fast forward to 2020. Everything just went to shit, like right away. I was hearing rumors about this COVID thing, and I remember being at Walgreens, and this lady was like desperately hunting the face masks, and I was like, face masks? She's like, yeah, for the virus. And I was like, whatever, dude. Hey, go to Home Depot. They get the painter's mask. I don't know. Who cares, And then it started getting to be serious, and I started seeing more stuff online with like victims. I saw this one chick, and she was like, my lungs are fucked because of this COVID thing. Yeah, if you smoke cigarettes, you better fucking quit it. You need your fucking lungs, mate. She's like dying, and I was like, oh my. Holy shit.
I think I got a problem.
Yeah, dude. They're coming right for us. Nobody wants to hit me up until I'm busy. This is ridiculous.
Of course.
As soon as I start to do something. Well, yeah, dude, and then all that.
You can see the light on the phone that was blinking, that was listening to you.
Illuminati. Yeah, man, all that stuff got crazy real fast, dude, and it seemed like it was going to be the apocalypse. And like, I mean, I made a good time out of it since we were locked in our houses, dude. I fucking got a bunch of whiskey and weed and food.
It was supposed to be 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then my buddy, he got a bunch of shrooms and weed and whiskey, and my girlfriend got whatever she was into. And we basically were just like, I still had to work because I was essential because I was a pool technician. But yeah, dude, we were just getting fucked up, like making fun of COVID, talking about, well, if it is the apocalypse, we're going out in style, dude, tripping on shrooms, sniffing stuff we're not supposed to be sniffing, smoking stuff, drinking stuff. It was awesome. Doing COVID. We were doing only, like, me and the girl were doing OnlyFans stuff because, like, why not? Try to make some extra money during.
Nobody's going to see it, so it's the end of the world. Nobody's going to see it.
I mean, I had a good time, dude. I was like, with the phone and like, oh yeah, dude, that's awesome. Yeah.
I'm not going to be president anyway, so I might as well go ahead and record this.
I already got felonies. Dude. Hey, man, my sex tape will leak in the future, but no, man. And then Yeah, so like August, right around August, like after everything was already going, it just went to shit. That's when everything started to go to shit, bro. Like the politics got worse. That girl left. And then I stopped getting along with my roommate, and fucking the music. I had all these shows booked, and then COVID ruined it, so I wasn't able to do shows anymore. I could just like record music, and that got boring as hell. And then I had that truck, so all I could do was like work on that truck and record music, and then just be miserable.
So what's the update on the truck?
The guy's got to rebuild the wiring harness, get piece by piece. So I gave him some money. I gave him half the money, and he's doing that. Okay. He looked through everything, and he said he didn't see any like major issues. I busted the seal on the yoke when I was trying to get it to top dead center because I forgot to take it out of gear.
On the transmission?
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy.
On the diff, on the rear diff.
Okay.
I busted the seal on the yoke. So he's going to fix that. It's like a $20 part, but he's going to do that for free. But I think the whole thing, I think actually fixing it and getting it running is going to cost me like $8,000 to $1,000 because he's doing like every wire.
Right. Yeah, you got to.
And he's going to put an ignition back in there. He talked me into it. He's like, bro, you got to get rid of these toggle switches, at least for your ignition. And I was like, dude, but it's so cool. And he's like, do you want cool or do you want it to work?
Yes.
And I was like, damn, bro.
That's what we were talking about. It's like, look, if he builds it, once you start cutting into a wiring harness, you can never really put it back to the stock. So if you put it back to stock, you have to put it back to stock and then start from there. You know, I mean, there's other little ways around it. I mean, you can put a points ignition in it, so that gets rid of a lot of wires. But you know, you want it to run like it's supposed to.
I just want it to actually work. This is so annoying, dude. I'm so tired of it. But yeah, so anyway, once he gets it fixed and running again, I'm going to tell him, I already told him to hang on to it because then I'm going to get a fucking sound system installed in there.
So the 1 6x9 in the dash is leaving. You gonna put 2 6x9s?
He said
one in each door.
He said, "What do you want exactly?" And I was like, "I want the what did I say? I said I want the pussy rattling window shaker, bro. Not too much, but just enough. You know what I'm saying? So they know I'm coming, and so they're gonna be coming."
Well, I tell you this: it's your truck, and I agree with it. But when you pull in the neighborhood, turn it down.
Fuck no.
Yes.
Those guys don't turn down. Turn down for what?
They'll steal your. They'll steal your stuff.
Dude, I forgot because
they'll steal your stuff.
That's right.
Okay.
I forgot. They can't know that you can't have nice things anymore. You got to hide it. You got to pretend like you're actually broke.
Right. So all around town, Blair, whatever. But when you come in the neighborhood, you got to. I used to tell my son that all the time. Like, look, man, you're advertising what you got. You know what I mean? And these vehicles can be taken so easily now. You know, it's unreal.
I mean, the good news is none of those guys can probably drive a stick.
No, but
they definitely can't drive that one because the synchros are out of whack, so they don't even know if it's shifting or not.
No, I mean they'll grab the amp or something. I mean they'll hey man, what you got? They want to come over and see what you got. They're looking at how to cut your stuff out. You know what I mean?
Speaking of that, man, one time I did have a sound system in my Cutlass in Wyoming, and this weird chick. I mean, she was kind of hot, but I know that she's been through some rough times. Yeah, you know, like it's sad when you see a hot chick, but she's clearly on drugs and alcohol real bad, and it's just like right before she's about to enter that like faces of meth phase of her life. It's such a shame, dude. I've seen so many pretty girls just ruin their lives with these drugs. But anyway, she kind of like just meandered over, and I was like working on the sound system, and she was like, "What are you pushing?" And I was like, "Excuse me?" She's like, "What's in the trunk?" And I was like, "Oh, just some JL audio, 212s." She's like, "That's cool, man. You got an extra cigarette?" And I was like, "No, there's only 20 in a pack." And then I went back to what I was doing. And it was weird because she was like wearing a wife beater and powder blue hoochie mama shorts in Wyoming. I mean, I know it was like not the dead of winter, but I was like, that's a strange outfit for her. Is she from Florida? What the fuck is going on? I mean, she's acting like it.
Is there a trailer park around here?
Yeah, dude. Like, where am I? But yeah, man. I thought for a brief moment, I was like, damn, now she's seen what's in my trunk.
Mhm.
She's going to go tell her fantastic friends, you know. Nothing ever happened, though, but that did cross my mind. Yeah. It was kind of weird that she asked me about it. Like, you fucking flirt with me? How bad do you want that cigarette?
Now, when we had ours, Super Tuner, the Pioneer Super Tuner 3 was the radio. Sherwood was the amps. And then if you had some Server Vegas.
Sherwood?
Or some Rosser Foggates.
Are you sure you don't mean Kenwood?
No.
Sherwood?
So.
It's not ringing a bell.
What Sherwood
Williams?
Was
no,
the name
Williams.
Was the name of the amp. So, but what we'd do, we'd run our main speakers, the 6x9s, stuff like that, off the head unit, and then when we wanted to show off, the amp was on a toggle switch. So when you're riding through town and you're just playing your 6x9s, it sounds as loud, but it sounds normal.
That's so crazy to me. Like not playing the whole system all the time.
Right.
That's so weird. That's bizarre.
Well, I mean, you know, our stuff, well, even with a couple of 6x9s, I actually won a few competitions. I only had a 140 watt amp, but won a few competitions with some Jensen 3-way 6x9s.
Jansen?
Yep. Because they were cheap and they sounded good.
Back hurts. Carrying around all this talent.
But, you know, some of them guys, you know, they'd hit so hard, you can watch their voltage meter drop, you know.
Did y'all have capacitors back then?
And then once we figured out that we can take house speakers, put the ohm reducer on it, because house speakers and car speakers take 2 different ohms, so it sounds like crap. So once we figured out we can put ohm reducers to go from 4 ohm to 2 ohm, so now you can buy house speakers. So you get 2 12s that somebody's trying to sell for nothing. And you put those in the trunk. It's already got a box. It's already hooked up. Run it through the ohm reducer, and now you got a 2 12s in a box already.
Think about all the stupid shit I used to do for sound. I had house speakers hooked up to my subwoofers, just hanging out wherever I could put them. This is stupid, dude. And then I would stuff a sock in the air hole to make it boom louder. And then what else did I do? I stripped
bazooka tubes.
Those are cool as shit, man. I dated a girl with one of those.
Yep.
It was pretty cool. I was thinking about getting one for my truck, and then dude talked me out of it. He's like, "No, man, we'll get you some fucking like undermount or like shallow wedges."
Well, I'm telling you, for a speaker that's only 4 or 5 inches, I mean, I had a Jensen that was a 12, but it's not a bad sound.
No, but I think we're putting like 2 10s in there, maybe 2 12s. He offered me a speaker wall on my back window, but I don't know. I'm kind of reckless, man, because the speakers would be right there. So I'd probably like headbutt it, or I don't know. I'd fuck it up somehow, and like, you know, sometimes
if you put the cover on it, put the cover on the speakers,
dude. When I get drunk, why do you think I have this mic stand now instead of the same as yours? Remember how we had the same mic stand? I somehow broke the other one when I was drunk. I don't even know what I did. I woke up the next day, dude. I fucking woke up the next day and like everything was scattered everywhere, and fucking thing was broken. And I was like, how? What did I even do? I retraced my steps, and I was like, I just wanted to get a mic so I could cut that wrestling promo. I wanted to hold a mic in my hand for the wrestling promo, so I was like holding this mic, and I had to detach it from the thing, and I somehow broke the fuck out of the thing because I guess I was like too amped, you know, because liquor gets me amped, so I got to stay away from it.
Yep.
Beer is fine.
Alcohol is alcohol.
Coors, no.
Yep.
No, because when I was at the show Saturday, I had a few Coors Lights, and I didn't lose my fucking mind and go crazy and, you know, hunt for drugs and call people and bother them. Dude, I didn't even realize I did this, but I left a voicemail. I think a few weeks ago I was drunk, blackout drunk on IPAs in your moonshine. And I was calling people trying to get into something, and I called Seth Anthony. And I
called Joe Rogan.
I called Seth Anthony and I left him a voicemail talking like the Macho Man. So I was like, oh, wow, Mr. Sarcasm, Kenny. You can call me at 3 a.m. looking for fun, but I can't call him, huh? Mr. Coffee and the big Mr. Cup of Coffee with your decaf, loser. Call me back, though. And I ended it like that. Call me back, though. And he's like, man, I should probably use this for a song intro. I was like, damn, I don't even remember doing that. That's hilarious. But yeah, dude.
At least it turned out good.
What?
I mean, nothing turned out bad.
Oh, dude, I did it.
How was the show? Who'd you go see?
I did it to FJ Outlaw too, like twice. I left him 4-minute voicemails just babbling about bullshit. Didn't remember doing it. The show was lit. It was Hard Target and Seth Anthony, and it was in downtown St. Pete on the side of the road, which for some reason I thought was really fucking cool, man, because we were hanging out downtown St. Pete, and they had the stage set up on the sidewalk, and then there was cars and people going by, and I was like, wow, dude, for some reason this is just so dope to me. We're just on the side of the road having a whole show. We're drinking.
Like just a pull-up show type thing?
Yeah, man, and it was lit. The sound sucked because the sound guy didn't, I guess, I don't know what was happening, but I kept seeing, like, during the show, Target went on first, and they were having sound problems, and I kept seeing people scurrying, trying to fix it, and then during Seth's set, he kept messing with one of the monitors. He would like grab it and turn it, and I don't know, shit wasn't right. But it was still dope. It was still fun. And then I was drinking a few beers. I was like, well, I'm not even supposed to be drinking right now, but I'll have a few Coors Lights. And I drank those. And then one of his boys gave me a shot. I think it was a mystery shot. I don't even know what was in it. I thought it was a Johnny Vegas. It tasted similar. And then I was prepared to go home. I was like, wow, look at that, dude. You finally went to a Hard Target show and didn't get blackout drunk and have to sleep in your truck. That's awesome. Because I always do that when I party with them. Those motherfuckers party, and so do I. And then I wake up on my bench seat at the Brass Mug with the sun in my face on a Sunday, trying to go get another twisted tea, and they won't sell it to me.
Right.
But yeah, man, I was prepared to go home, and the night was young, dude, because the show was from like 6 to 9, 6 to 8.
Something like that.
And then I was getting ready to get out of there. And then Seth was like, all right, dude, get on the bus. We're fucking tearing it up. And I was like, what?
What?
The bus. He's like, get on the fucking bus. So I get on the bus, dude. And I'm like, everybody's in there, bro, except for Target. I guess Target wanted to go home. But like Crownie was in there. Seth was in there. Dolph was in there. Some other people I didn't know. And then Seth was like, all right, dude, we're going to go bar hopping. I'm going to buy an expensive suite, and we're going to fucking party, dude. I was like, well, okay. So that's what we did, man. Went bar hopping, partied, and then he bought the suite. And I still didn't even get that faded. He bought me a shot of tequila, and somebody bought me a green tea, but I stayed sipping the Coors.
Okay.
So by 3, I was more tired than I was fucked up.
Well, that's a step in the right direction.
And I got the fuck out of there. I was like, all right, dude, it's 3. Plant City's like 40 minutes away. I'm tired. This was weird. I'm going, well, I mean, it was weird because normally I'm like, yeah! Especially with them, because I'm like, how often do you get to party with, people like that?
Which we have one of them coming on the show, right?
Yeah, these cigars suck, dude. They leave Scooby snacks. January 12th, we're doing a Hard Target interview, if he remembers.
Well,
because he's busy as fuck. But
right, I need to get him a jar.
Hard Target?
Yeah.
Oh, Shine?
Yeah, since he's not too far.
He's in Brooksville.
Right.
That's pretty far.
I didn't want to put that out.
Everybody knows he's from Brooksville.
I just got back from driving to Tennessee. Brooksville ain't far.
Everybody knows that we're from fucking Tampa.
That's fine. Okay. I was trying to make it look like we were international. Okay. God,
dude, dang it. We don't fake the deal around here, okay? We embrace the trash that we are.
We fake it till we make it.
No, dude.
Okay.
We are trash.
But
we are.
But
I don't think we can say that on here.
No.
The YT trash.
Yes. Well,
say YT together. That's what we're talking about. Trash.
Well, I want to get him a jar so he can have the jar while we're doing, if he wants it during the interview, but I need to get that jar to him so he can have it. So if you do an interview with us, if you do consume adult beverages, I will get you a bottle, or I will get you a jar to have for coming on the show.
Damn, that's pretty enticing, dude. Should we interview all of Trailer Made? Because Dirty said he was down too. The dude I got that song coming with.
You know,
and then there's Crowny. I'm sure Crowny would be down. And
you know, I still got
Chief. I'm sure Chief would do it.
You know, and I got boxing guys that want to come on. And we might have a sponsor coming.
Might.
Yep.
Can you elaborate or no?
Well, a buddy of mine is starting he's into motorcycles and modifying motorcycles, mainly Harleys, but he can do Yamahas, Hondas, all that, and servicing the bikes. So he's fixing to start his LLC on that, and as soon as all that gets going, and he gives us the phone number to put out, because instead of taking on call like we got to do at work, he rather build motorcycles and make money than do what he's doing.
Yeah.
So
I think everybody's at a point in their lives where they want to do their own thing, man.
Right. So he very good mechanic. He's modified all of his bikes. They're awesome. I just got a new Harley that he's gonna do mine.
How's the sponsorship gonna work? Just get him to pay for StreamYard and the 1080 camera option, and then get him to pay for the podcast house so we can put the episodes on the podcast app and Spotify.
Well, other than a one-time deal, I was looking at a monthly charge.
That's what I'm saying. He can pay those things because those things are monthly charges. He can pay those things.
Yeah.
I feel like this is very simple.
Yeah. So we're gonna come up with a dollar amount,
and then we can have his stuff in here somewhere.
Or
wear his hats.
So
He's got hats.
Well, once we figure out what the name's gonna be for it and all that,
yeah.
So I can throw his. He's like, yeah, man, no problem. We can do it. I said, yeah, but if I throw your number out, because what we want to do is, like, if somebody from Texas wants, he can't do that. If the guy shows up here, he can build his bike or whatever, but he can put together a performance package and send it to Texas, and then somebody in Texas can put it on the bike.
I think this is a dope angle, and I really like the lava lamp. It adds something to it, don't you think?
Yes.
It's not lava-ing right now because I guess it takes 3 hours to start lava-ing, so I guess you got to leave it on all the time.
Yep.
I didn't know that until I read the instructions just a minute
ago.
What?
You read the instructions? Yeah, it's got to warm up.
Sometimes I'll be reading, you know,
because it's oil. You got to heat it up.
I kind of wish. I like that color, but I kind of wish it was like more alien, like green and blue. Like this nice shirt. This awesome. Look at this. I'm really impressed.
Well, go to Spencer's and get you a lava lamp.
Bro, this is all I'm gonna wear from here on out. Just retro name drop. Retro rifle shirt. I probably shouldn't tell because they're always sold out, and now more people are gonna go rush to get them because it's palm trees and machine guns.
Well, retro rifle. If you want to send us some shirts, we will be glad.
I'll wear all them motherfuckers, dude. It's comfortable. I feel like I just stepped my game up. You know what I'm saying? I'm entering my Florida man aesthetic. I'm skipping all the way to it.
Well, as long as you do the aesthetics and not the Florida man stuff.
Oh, dude, I just told you.
You've already done that.
I've been living that.
I know. Okay, it's time to put a comma.
What's wrong with you? Whiskey and Adderall. What do you think?
Yeah, but the problem is you're taking Adderall and sniffing whiskey.
It's not illegal that way, is it?
I don't know. As long as you got a prescription for your subscription, you're good.
Bro, that stuff, man, I got to be honest with you. I liked it because I just recently
re-upped.
Maybe I think I got into it maybe like 6 months ago because I always heard about it, but just never bothered, man. I was like, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to do some blow. But I finally caved one night because somebody offered me like a half of one, and I took it. And all of a sudden, dude, like I started seeing better. My vision improved. I swear to God, that sounds crazy, but I just remember I was at an Avenged Sevenfold show. What the fuck was I doing there? It was free. I was invited, but yeah. And all of a sudden I was watching the show and then just my eyes improved. And I was like, holy shit, dude, I'm seeing it like crystal, like HD TV or some shit, 4K 30, motherfucker. And then I felt really good and really focused. And I was like, wow, so this is why people take this shit. And then I don't know, maybe like a couple hours, a few hours, it wore off. And I was like, oh, well, this sucks. I might as well have just done blow. And then he was like, nah, that's why you take more. Take another half. And I was like, oh, so this is what you do all day? Eating them like candy? I was like, oh, this is why people, okay, yeah, this is habit forming.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, and then like the next day, I didn't like the way they made me feel though, because there is like a come down from them. And it's similar to devil's dandruff. You got anxiety. Stomach's a little uneasy. You're kind of sad, you know. That's why you got to take them daily. You can't just take them for fun. I don't know. They're kind of dumb. I don't want to ever do them again, especially if they're gonna make me fucking leave voicemails I forget about. Where do you think this neck tat came from, man? I fucking drank that moonshine, that country coding interview, dude. We were hitting that moonshine, and I got a buzz on, and I was drinking that beer. And I remember I got a buzz on and I had some saved that somebody gave me. And I popped one and I was like, oh, yeah, baby, dude. Fucking the train just left the station. I went to the bar down the road and I didn't know anybody there. I thought I did, but my group of people that I do know who's usually there wasn't. So I had to make new friends. And I just remember being all over the place. And then like the
one down by County Line?
Firehouse.
Yeah.
So some woman was there complaining about, it was like around last call, and she was complaining about her Corvette AC. I was like, well, I used to be a mechanic, so let me see what it does. And then I remember sitting in the car with her, and she's like, it's cold on the passenger side. It's warm on the driver's side. And I was like, dude, that's a leak.
Well, the vent doors are messed up.
Yeah, it's a leak or something, you know. She's like, well, the guy said actuators. And I was like, I'm pretty sure you have actuators in your electric windows, but when it comes to weather, I think it's either a door issue or there's a leak in your line somewhere. You might have split lines. I mean, did they check that? I feel like you're dealing with an idiot. And then I remember I was like, dude, this is somebody's mom. What the fuck am I doing in this car? I got to go fucking mingle with other people my own age. Dude, what am I doing? I'm missing opportunities, I think. And then
she could have been a sugar mama.
I jump out and there's fucking like dudes there that look like Tommy Chong and James Hatfield, and then like another guy who looked like Turtle from Entourage, the younger dude. And I started partying with those guys, and then they were kicking us out, and those guys had beer. And I was like, dude, I live right down the street. I got a fuck ton of beer and a fuck ton of bud. You guys want to go chill? And they were like, yeah, man. So I hung out with them, listening to Leonard Skinner on the front porch like till morning, just drinking and smoking. And they finally got out of there once we noticed the sun was coming up. And then I went and slept for a few hours, and I woke up, popped another one, you know, and because I'd been talking to my guy for a minute about a throat tattoo. So I woke up like still a little fucked up, and I was like, today's the day. I didn't even realize that Newport Richie's an hour and a half away from here.
Yeah.
And that's where my guy moved to. But he's done like all my work, you know, so I only trust him. So I made the journey, bro. I stopped off. I think I grabbed like a burrito or something, and then I grabbed 2 twisted teas, and then I made the journey, and I got there, and I was pretty lit by the time I got there, and they were like, you drunk? And I was like, what does it matter?
Because they're not supposed to tattoo you when you're drunk because you bleed too much.
They said that, but I was like, what about that Irish dude that you had in here who was actively drinking while getting tattooed? And they were like, well, that's different. I was like, oh, I've known you since I was like 20 years old, dude. I think I fit that category of different. Okay, if I want to drink these twisted teas.
Yeah, different. Yes, you are.
So they finally get me on the table, and I wanted something else. I wanted a dying heart right there. Like slowly, like the red fading away. Just like a heart actively dying. I thought that'd be pretty dope, and they talked me out of it. Because they were like, that's stupid.
I don't even know how you would draw that.
No, I had a picture of it and everything. I already had it.
Okay.
And then they talked me out of it. And Jesse was like, I thought you said you wanted like a Florida theme on your throat. And I was like, yeah, dude, I do. You didn't draw it up. And then Tori was like, well, I've been working on it while you were bullshitting over there. So we came up with this thing, which I like a lot. It's pretty cool. There's got to be more to it, though. This is just a starter piece. But yeah, I remember laying there, man. I was hammered. And I don't remember if they put numbing spray on there or not. I didn't really feel much. I don't know if it was because I was buzzed or what, but I kept falling asleep during the thing. And every time they take the needle away, I'd start really dozing off. And then the needle would come back and I'd jolt. And I did this for like the whole time. And then I remember towards the end, I was like, dude, are you fucking done? Because I am freezing in here. Figure it out. They were like, we're actually closed. And I was like, well, fucking close off the tattoo then. I'm over this shit, bro. Because I've had my head leaned back over the table for what feels like ever. Tori was like,
10 minutes.
Tori was like, dude, you've had my tits in your face all day. You should be happy. I was like, you ain't even got none. It'd be different. It'd be different if you had some shit going on up there, but you worked out too much, and now you know. Is that thing wobbling?
Not now.
I don't know. We got to get it. I like this angle though. I like what's going on here.
Yeah.
We should have did this from the start. And we did all this and Dylan's not even here. You know, because I can look at you, I can look at Dylan, you know, but now Dylan's too good for us. He's, you know, they got to work all the time. He's like dedicated to his job. What a loser. I got to do all this stuff. I'm important. I like my job. I like keeping it.
I got to work so that people in unemployment can get their money.
Yeah, dude.
Always be part of the problem, not the solution.
All the Medicare and food stamp babies, man. Medicaid. Medicare? It's the same shit, right?
I think it's age. Medicare.
Oh, yeah. Medicare's for the oldies, ain't it?
Yeah.
The boomers? Like you?
Close. Close. Yeah, I'm the old guy.
Man, speaking of that, dude, I've been thinking about time a lot. I think I'm entering a midlife crisis. I don't know. Because, like, I'm not at my midlife, but maybe I am because I'm only 34. And they say that middle age is like 40 and 50, technically. But if you consider all the damage I've done to my body with the partying and the sports and the fights and the accidents and just like all the stuff, you know, all the times I should have died, like I'm probably going to go out in my 60s. You know, I mean, we do kind of have a family problem where the men die kind of young if they live that life. My grandfather, James, died at 48, had a heart attack while he was driving, much like the Macho Man. My Uncle Rick died at 48 of pancreatic cancer because he partied too much. And me and Rick are very similar. Like, we're too similar. So, I don't know. Maybe that'll be my fate, too. Who knows? 48, like...
Yeah, no one knows.
I think 60... I don't know, dude. I just don't want to end up being an old, deteriorating shell of what I used to be in my prime, and then having to look at myself in the mirror and being like, damn, bro, you used to be able to kick people's asses. Like, you used to be, you know, you used to look good, and like you used to pull bitches, and you used to be.
That's why you used to go down to the club or firehouse down there. And that's where those guys hang out.
Yeah, but then I'm going to be hanging out with a bunch of people like.
Right.
Looking at them like, damn, I bet they used to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're all the same, so it doesn't matter.
Well, it sucks, man. I don't want no fucking, you know, I don't want to be, I don't know, dude. But yeah, I've been thinking about time a lot recently or lately and freaking out about it, dude. Like, I feel like.
My doctor says I'm in pretty good shape for an 80-year-old.
My knees are 80. I'm 34, but I'm freaking out about time. So I might be in a midlife crisis.
Nah.
Oh, well, I'm freaking out about time, dude. Like, I feel like I'm running out of time. I'm not doing enough with my time. I feel like I've wasted a lot of time. And then I think about the people.
Well, yeah, you all three of those have happened, yes.
I think about the people who I'm wasting time without, if that makes sense. Because life is short, man, and people are dying left and right or, you know, stuff like that. And like, a lot of us aren't really talking to each other. Some of us are mad at each other. And I'm like, damn, dude, we're running out of time and we're doing this stupid fucking bullshit, not hanging out, being mad at each other or just too busy for each other. And that bums me out, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of time to myself lately and I don't like it because I fucking start thinking and that gets me into trouble. That's why I wrote that song, Overthinking.
Which he's shooting a video for tomorrow,
And
which you're not invited.
No one's invited. Actually, I let one person come by.
Yeah, the guy shooting the video.
Well, and another guy. Chief,
not me. He didn't say nothing to me about it.
Chief from Trailer Made's coming by because we were supposed to hang out a long time ago and he wants to see the house. And he was like, well, I'll hold a light. And I was like, all right, as long as you're doing something that contributes to the video, you can come by.
Oh, he can't just stop by and chill and just watch?
He offered. I told him.
He's got to do something.
He fucking offered.
Ain't that something? You come over to his house, you got to do something
He said, I was like, bro, it's really, he's like, you don't need an actor. Like, you know, I can act, right? And I was like, yeah, bro, I saw you in the river, the video for Hard Target, the river. Like, you almost drowned. You were that dedicated. So I saw you. But we ain't doing nothing like that. It's just a solo. It's literally just me in my studio. And then Stax is shooting at the Boom Boom Room. So we're not even like the two of us that got the song aren't even shooting the video together. And he's like, well, I mean, I'll figure something out. Like, let me slide through. And I was like, all right. He's like, what kind of beer do you drink? And I was like, you can definitely come over now.
Coors Light.
Actually, I told him Busch Light or Coors Light.
Ugh, Busch. Busch makes you stupid.
Mm-mm.
Yes, it does. Busch beer makes people stupid.
Yeah.
Yes. I got a lot of stories about stupid people with Busch beer.
You're one of them, huh?
No, I don't drink that shit. Come on, puff, puff, puff.
What do you drink?
Puff.
You probably drink Miller Lite, Michelob Ultra.
I mean, beer was, I just buy any beer, but if I'm going to buy beer, be honest with you, Dos Equis, Coronas.
Dos Equis?
If I'm doing
Is that even still a beer?
Authentic Mexican meal, not Taco Bell, but authentic Mexican meal, I'll get a Dos Equis to go with it. Oh, wonderful.
I hate Taco Bell. I'm boycotting Taco Bell. Made me sick.
But
like deathly ill twice.
But once I found out that the king of beer is nothing but rice beer.
You talk about Budweiser?
I didn't drop that name.
We drop names around here.
So
we got nothing to hide.
It's nothing but a rice beer with enough hops to call it a beer.
That's what this whole time?
It's made with rice.
Budweiser.
Yes.
The whole time.
It's made with rice.
America's beer.
It's made with rice.
Like the most historical alcoholic beverage in the country.
It's made with rice.
Wow.
Yingling, which Coors, Budweiser, Coors and a few others are owned by BEV Incorporated, which is a company out of Canada or England. So the only one that's left is Yingling. Ding-a-ling.
Yang-ring.
So
my ding-a-ling.
Man. So that's a good song. Look it up.
It's a classic.
Yes,
and it's easy to remember.
Yes, but yeah, it's nothing but a rice beer. There's just enough hops in it to call it a beer.
My whole life has been a fucking lie, dude. Remember that last girl I dated? Face tat?
Yes.
Every time somebody would show up with a Budweiser or bring it up, she had to fucking inform them of what it stood for. Hey, do you know what Budweiser stands for? And everybody would be like,
oh, what's that?
What? Wait, I didn't know it stood for something. And then she would go on. I can't remember. It was like,
yeah,
because you deserve what every
somebody came up with some
working
crap.
I don't remember. It was a whole thing, but she had it down pat and she had to tell everybody. And I was like, yeah.
Now my first legal beer, we was down in LaBelle with my wife's mom lived in LaBelle. There was a little
like 100 years ago.
Close. There's a place called the Pioneer Pub. Her mom bought me my first legal beer, and she's like, "Well, what do you want?"
This is back when you could drink at 18.
No, they changed it to 21. I was like 14 when they changed it to 21. I'm like, I got 4 years left. Dang it! Now I gotta wait till I'm 21.
Wow.
So she's like, "Well, what are you drinking?" And I said, just whatever." She's like, "Well, you can drink what I'm drinking," and it was a Miller, the champagne of beer. Had the glass bottle, the whole shooting match.
I don't think Miller's that good.
No.
I don't think
it's horse piss.
No, it ain't good. Country Cody drinks the fuck out of some Miller Lite. And I'm like, damn, bro, like how, man? You're obsessed with this. All he drinks. He loves it.
And then once I got working on the road in the environmental field, there were some beer connoisseurs.
Fucking connoisseurs.
So the IPAs, the lagers, the dark beers, because they would drink all that weird stuff.
I miss IPAs, but they fuck you up. Dude.
And
they make you text your ex.
So I'm not much into the dark beers. They're just too heavy. The stouts, they just sit too heavy for me.
What, like Guinness?
Yeah, they're just.
Yeah, Guinness is meant to be like all the dock workers would. Like if they didn't have time to eat, they would just slam a Guinness and then go right back to it.
Oh yeah, you're full.
Yeah,
yeah, you're full.
My uncle's crazy, dude, because he'll have Guinness with dinner, and I'm thinking to myself, that's a damn gut bomb right there. Because I couldn't do it, because he'll eat stuff like shepherd's pie. Well, lately he's been on I don't know, he's almost like a vegetarian now because he grows his own food, like lettuce and microgreens.
Cool.
I think he still eats meat, but yeah, he'll have a Guinness with dinner like every night, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, I couldn't do it. It's too much going on.
Yeah.
And that is a problem. I moved this whole table, this whole thing.
Well,
is a problem.
Like there's a high spot or low spot.
Stick a sugar packet under it.
But
there's fucking high spots and low. These tables aren't so great.
Well, no, but they were free to you.
We need to upgrade.
Yes, but
this was free. I got this at MacDill Air, like outside of MacDill Air Force Base, on the side of the road. I was out there doing cabinets one day and I seen it, and I went over to it and yanked it.
And that was I went in our hunting camp. That trailer, or seat, or the white thing up there. But
the white thing up there, the Xbox controller.
No, I see. Well, you can see that's the table, the other table.
Mm.
But yeah, I guess Corona's. But I gotta be in the mood for it. But
I like Corona. Listen, my favorite beer has always been, and it's been a tie, Corona or Tecate. You ever had Tecate?
That's the Mexican beer, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have.
It is delicious.
Really?
Oh, dude. It's always been my favorite beer. Tecate.
Was it similar to, or has it got its own?
It kind of reminds me of Stella. I love Stella, but it's way too expensive. So it's like the affordable Mexican version of Stella. I mean, it's good, dude. It's good. It doesn't have a weird taste. It doesn't have a weird aftertaste. It does its job. It's just like I never see it too many places,
Blue Moon. Well, when we worked up in Pennsylvania, Blue Moon was big in Pennsylvania.
I don't really care for it.
Well, first time I got a Blue Moon, she put an orange on it. I went, you don't fruit the beer. You remember? You don't fruit the beer.
Well, because you could put a lime in Corona, but everything else is like,
yeah.
What the hell is that? That ain't no Corona.
I'm like, why do I want an orange with my beer?
Say no damn Corona. What the hell you doing?
Like, well, it gives it the citrus taste. I went, why do they put that in the beer?
Oh,
why do I gotta?
I remember that same roommate I was talking about earlier would always order a Jack and Coke with a lime, and I was so confused. Why are you getting a Jack and Coke with a lime? He's like, oh, for a bitter. And I was a bitter.
Why'd you order bitters?
The point is of mixing the Jack with the sodas to get rid of the bitter and the gross, and you're adding the bitter and the gross.
You can put bitter in it. You don't got to put it.
He was religious about the Jack and Coke with a lime, and I was thinking, why? I tasted it. I was like, this ain't good.
I had a buddy drink Crown and water.
Mm. I'm pretty famous for that. God damn, this thing has so many Scooby snacks. I spent the whole episode just like,
But he's like, well, with the water, you can drink longer.
Crown and water. I used to do that a lot. And then Crown started making me sleepy. So I switched over to Jameson and water, or Jameson and gingers, or Jameson and diet soda. Because I'm down with the aspartame. I don't care about the sugar.
I wasn't a big fan of Jameson.
I like
straight. Okay. Straight wise, I wasn't not a big fan of Jameson straight. It just.
On ice?
Ugh.
Or neat?
I guess just a shot. Neat.
Well,
I just don't like the taste of it.
To take a quote from the Alphabet Mafia, the LGB people,
mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of anything straight.
I like it.
I don't like any booze straight up. It all tastes like ass. I remember the first time I took a shot of Louis 13 or King Louis 13, that really expensive, I think it's a hybrid. It's like cognac and I think it's cognac and champagne blended, or it's cognac aged in champagne barrels.
Stuff you're supposed to sip, he's chugging.
Oh yeah. Well, it was $400 for a shot, and we had money to blow. So we got a $75 steak, and then afterwards decided to treat ourselves to a $400 shot of this bougie ass alcohol. And I got a video of it. I'll have to see if we can splice it in, but they bring it out in this real fancy, there's like a lot of metal and chrome involved. And there's a glorified turkey baster that's made out of freaking platinum or something. And they want to give you just the right amount. So they, and then it measures. It's like a giant liquor syringe. And then they carefully inject it into the cup. And
it was like azimuth. You got to mix this shit over sugar.
Absinthe.
Yeah. Whatever.
Would you call it azimuth?
Yeah. Close enough.
Azimuth, man. Wait. Yeah. You
tell the old stuff, when they had the old stuff in it, it made you go cuckoo.
Whatever that fancy, schmancy European shit is with the sugar cube. You know what I'm talking about, boy.
That's America.
Absmith. Whatever.
You know the Smiths, they did it down the street.
Rather have some rice beer over that, boy. But yeah, so they do that, and then I was getting ready to knock it back, and they were like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
what are you doing?" I was like, "What? I'm about to take the shot." And they were like, "I was like, you poured the shot." He's like, "No, you got to sip it and enjoy it. There's a lot of stuff going on in there." He's like, "You got to smell it and just." I was like, "Okay." So, I did a little sippy sip and whatever the fuck you do, and I was waiting. I got a little, like I think it was like nutty, and then my mouth went dry, like super dry. I was like, "It's very dry, very dry alcohol." And then I sipped the whole thing, and I remember by the time I was done, I was like, "Bro, for $400, you know how much Jameson and Crown we could have got?
Months worth,
For real." And this stuff, I thought this was going to give me like some kind of mouthgasm. I'm not impressed.
No, that's like even with Jack. It's like, well, it's been in oak barrels. I don't want to know what an oak tree tastes like.
I got to be honest with you, dude. I think Jack Daniels is the most disgusting tasting shit outside of any tequila.
Well, now,
dude, listen.
Patron is a smooth tequila.
I guess, man, if you're doing fucking snake bites, but dude,
it is smoother than 1800.
Ever since I was 19 years old and I got alcohol poisoning from tequila, I can't ever drink it again. Seth gave me a shot of some tequila. I think it's the one with the bell on it, the bottle where you smack the bell. The lid is the bell.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Oh yeah, everybody's drinking. Everybody's running around with that tequila if they can afford it. But yeah, it's a cork and it's got a bell. So you smack the bell and it goes bing, and that means it's time to drink.
Well, then I need to put that on my moonshine.
Yeah. Well, we fucking, he's handing out shots and we're all about to do one. And I was like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Tequila." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, dude, where's the salt and the limes?" He's like, "Don't be a bitch." Everything he says, "Don't be a bitch." So I'm like, all right. So I take the shot and I'm like, oh God, dude. And it hits me. Dude, I could drink that moonshine straight. I mean, you saw me take a gulp of it.
Mm-hmm.
I could take shots of Jameson, even Jack Daniels, even though it's so gross to me. The minute that tequila hit my mouth and then went down, I was like, fuck. Crown, where's the bathroom? He's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I gotta go puke, dude." He's like, "No way." He's like, "There's people in there. There's a line and everything." And I'm on a rooftop bar, like the rooftop bar above Janice Live.
Okay.
We were there. And I'm like, fuck, I can't run down. I can't puke over the thing. I can't run down the stairs. There's an alleyway, but dude, by the time I get halfway down the stairs, I'm going to lose my shit. So I had to like gut it and just be like, and it's right there. I'm like, Brownie's like, "You want a cigarette?" And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Are you helping or are you hurting? What the fuck's going on, bro? So tequila, no. All day, no.
Well, I have an alcohol poisoning story. It was my best friend's brother's bachelor party. We lived over in Methner at the Fruit Bowl. I lived in the Fruit Bowl over there.
Mango in that?
I was on Pine, but he was on, I think, Peach. But anyway, so we show up to the party. It's just the family members, a few friends, blah, blah, blah. So we kill Southern Comfort. We kill 2 bottles of Southern Comfort. It's like, man, we still need to be drinking.
I don't like the taste of that stuff.
So
isn't there lime in that?
No. So
what's that taste in there? What is that? Southern Comfort. It's got a sweetness to it.
It's just sweet. So his dad brought over a bottle of Pusser's rum that he got from an auction. Okay, so we don't know how old this stuff was.
Posters.
So we drink that. Well, Tracy, my wife, had to drive us home, and it took us 2 hours to get from Seffner to Plant City.
It's like 20 minutes.
I know.
What the fuck happened? You guys get lost?
I'm like, no, you got to pull over.
Oh, because you're puking the whole time.
God. So we get to Kelly's Hideaway on 92, right? I'm like, you got to pull over. So she pulls over, and there's the bar shutting down. There's 2 people leaving. I'm like, look, I said, I'm so screwed up. I said, you know where the gun's at. I said, you got to defend yourself. I can't even defend you. I mean, I'm dude, I was gone. So we finally, so we get to Penn City. I'm like, you got to take me to the hospital.
Really?
So I've never had that feeling before. So,
Did it pump your stomach?
well, I'm out front, curled up on the bench out front of the Penn City Hospital. She goes in there, tried to do all the paperwork. They come out and go, yeah, he's drunk. Just take him home, let him sleep it off because we ain't gonna do nothing here for him.
Not even a liquid, like a saline IV.
So they get me back in the truck, and I go home and I sleep it off. But I do believe it was alcohol poisoning.
So you got a bottle from an auction.
Yes.
Aged.
Oh yeah, we don't know. We don't know.
So that means it was like concentrated, like bomb.
Just talking about it, just mention the name, my belly turns.
So same thing with me
and they still make it.
George Dickel. Sipping whiskey?
Mm-hmm.
Don't.
Well, if you sip it.
No, dude. We didn't know that when we were teenagers, and we had 2/5 of the shit. That's all for some reason, like we gave somebody money to buy us booze and they brought us back 2/5 of George Dickel and we were like, hell yeah, whatever, it's booze, ain't it? And we went ham on the shit. And I just remember getting so sick off of it and never again.
Yep.
Not ever George Dickel. Fuck George Dickel, bro. Fuck that dude and his bitch ass sipping whiskey.
But yes, they still make Putster's rum. And I'm like, nope, never again. I would never drink that. I mean, it might be good when it's not from an auction and aged who knows how long or what happened to the bottle.
Somebody injected it with something to make
that
it stronger.
That was a rough night. That was a very rough night. Yes.
I always get nervous about, because I heard a story back in school about people putting LSD in drinks, unopened drinks. So now I'm scared of like drinks or abandoned cups.
Oh yeah.
You never know what's in there. You can take a sip and all of a sudden too much acid and now you're fucked.
Yep.
You know, your brain drain damage.
Yeah, you know, you get all the liquid acid, so you just put a couple of drops in there. So if you leave your cup somewhere, even if your buddies are around, you still order a new one. You don't drink that one, or you finish it and go off.
People are assholes, man. They'll drug you and think it's funny.
Yeah. Sometimes it'd be your friends that you're with.
Bro, I remember this one night I was hanging out, and it was not that long ago. I think it was right before BAM. I think it was actually the night. No. Yeah, it was the last night I saw Bam and Sammy alive. After all the shenanigans, I was back at my apartment with this black dude I know, and he loves yayo. So we were doing it, having a good old time. And then we went and got more because that was a good idea. I mean, the fucking sun's coming up or about to. We went all the way across town. I didn't drive. I was just a passenger, but there was another guy driving. But we went all the way to the hood to get more. And I remember we got back and we were hitting it. And I was like, why isn't that stuff the same? This is way different. This ain't the same stuff, dude. I'm not feeling good. There's no euphoria. This feels like I'm just on speed. He's like, nah, man, this is fucking good stuff. I'm like, no, it isn't. This is something else entirely. I think you got a bag of shake and bake. There's like speed mixed with this. They cut it with speed.
Right.
He's like, so what are you saying? I was like, I don't know, dude. I don't think we should do anymore. I don't want to do anymore. And he's like, come on, just do another. And he did this thing with a dollar bill and he made it like a flag, really elongated thing. He could just jam powder in there and just keep hitting it. And I was like pretty impressed by it. So he did that. I didn't see him loading it. And you could do a tiny one or have it loaded and just hit it. So I thought I was getting a tiny one when he comes over. And this motherfucker, as soon as it gets to my nostril, he blows in the back of it and shoots all this shit up my fucking nose. A lot.
What the hell?
A lot, dude. Like a bunch. He kind of shotgunned me some powder.
That's an ass whooping.
And I was like, ah, like fucking fucking powdered glass going up my nose. I was like, holy shit, so much. I'm trying to blow some out. He's like, don't waste it. And I'm like, bruh. So then I'm like,
you snorted.
I'm like, dude. And all of a sudden, it was like I just took a shot of adrenaline, like on Pulp Fiction, and I was, holy shit. And then I really didn't feel right. I was saying, like, there's definitely something wrong with this. And then my heart started freaking out. and I started getting lightheaded. And my roommate was out there at this point watching us be idiots. And I go in the thing and I lay on the ottoman like stomach, just I'm like, dude, I don't feel good.
No.
We need help. Call the police. We need help. Help. And Chris is like, oh man, you guys got to quit partying. And homeboy's over there like, nah, he's just being a bitch. And then I calmed down and I was like, get the fuck out of my apartment. You got to go. Get the fuck out of here.
But leave your stuff. But get out of here.
No, take that shit with you. Take that fucking garbage with you. But yeah, man, that was a bad fucking time. And I didn't touch it for the longest time after that because I was like, never again, dude. It kind of ruined the feeling for me. And then later I was like, it had been long enough. And somebody had some really good stuff one night. So. But when you get older, you got to quit doing that shit. It changes. It's not fun anymore. To come down from that shit is miserable.
But,
I'm telling you.
Back in my using days, it was even if you showed up where everybody's at, and let's say you had a bag of weed, that's what it was. Whatever type of strand it was, whatever. That's what it was.
Acapulco Gold, man.
Well, there towards the end of my doing it, you show up and everybody's passing a joint around, and you get a couple of hits. You're like, man, something's not right. Oh yeah, man, I laced that
Cotton blunt.
It's like, oh, I laced it with PCP.
Snowcat. Oh yeah,
that was an ass whooping.
That's not cool.
Because look, they
call that sherm.
There's a code of ethics to this stuff. You know what I mean? Even though it's illegal, but there's a code of ethics. If I say, hey man, this is laced.
Yeah.
I'm good. All right, cool. Whatever. You know what I mean? You told the people what you had.
Yeah, it's fucking,
That was just the code of ethics of it.
Well, plus you don't want to deal with a freak out. If somebody doesn't know they're about to ingest something and then they're freaking out.
It's funny. Look, I got them all screwed up.
I don't want that, dude. The last thing I want around me is somebody freaking out on drugs.
Exactly. So it's like, dude, no, the game is changing. It's not. Y'all are going way off the deep end on this. I got to get out of this.
They ruined everything, man. They ruined cocaine. Like if you're out and about and you're drinking and somebody offers you a bump, you got to interrogate them. Like, well, how long you been doing this bag? How long you known the guy?
Yeah, it's just.
Oh, I just got this bag tonight. No, I don't want any, bro. No thanks.
Yeah. This if you want the first hit? No.
Yeah, you go first, dude.
No,
you go first and come find me in an hour
or
two, and then I'll do something with you.
Yeah.
But, until then, I'm scared. And then you got to carry around a fentanyl tester with you for everything. They make those now.
Now, fentanyl wasn't, it was out, but it wasn't, we didn't hear about it.
When? Back in the day?
Well, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no, I mean, okay, a lot of these drugs are doing now are hospice drugs. Okay?
What, like lean?
Lean's been around for a long, but in the hospice, when you go into hospice, there is morphine, fentanyl, because you're dying.
I miss morphine.
And the pain that you're in for cancer or whatever, they're just shooting you up, keeping you comfortable.
I meant to say I remember morphine, and I said I miss morphine. How bad is that? I didn't even it didn't even register because I was like, oh yeah, I remember morphine, and my mouth said I miss morphine because I used to abuse morphine pills.
So prescription prescription pills were in late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, the Oxycontin.
We didn't have, that wasn't a big thing.
The Oxycontin epidemic that my mother was a victim of and all her friends. I've seen pretty much my whole entire hometown lose their stable lives over fucking Oxycontin first, and then all kinds of stuff like Dilaudids, Somas, just pills.
I mean, we had speed, we had uppers, we had downers, stuff like that, but that wasn't prescription stuff. You have Valium. That was about as hard as prescription that we'd mess with.
I do like Valiums a lot because they're, what did Gary say? Lukewarm compared to Xanax. Xanax is too much. It's too much anxiety relief.
Yeah.
It will make you give so little of a shit that you end up in jail. And then you steal stuff for some reason.
I don't know.
I used to abuse Xanax back in the day, like when I was a teenager and in my early 20s, and I would steal shit and then pass out in apartment complex sofas, smoke a cigarette in there, and flick it across the thing, and then pass. I can't believe I got away with that. I passed out. I wandered away from the apartment, my cousins, found the sofa in the lobby, smoked a cigarette, flicked it, passed out. And I was awoken by a slap to the face by a member of the crew, our crew, and she was saying, "Are you fucking stupid or something? You've been here all night just sleeping. You smoked a cigarette in here. It's right there on the floor." I said, "Why? Just because I'm sleeping here, it means it's my cigarette?"
Well, we got you on video.
She said, "The only thing you're not doing is covering up with newspapers." And I said, "Well, if there was,
Yeah,
I woulda."
you got any?
She's like, "You don't even have your shoes on, dude." So yeah, Xanax, man. I used to snort those fucking things.
You know, the hard stuff were not the people that we hung out with. Like, you know, heroin, cocaine.
I never did heroin.
You know, cocaine was around, but you know, you got to remember, we're doing this stuff in high school. You know what I mean? We're moving a lot of product for high schoolers. We were moving a lot of product.
I feel like drug
back in the day.
I feel like drug use used to be more innocent back in that era because it was mainly just alcohol, weed, cocaine, psychedelics, shrooms and acid. I don't think there's much else people would be doing. Maybe a Valium to calm down.
Yeah, you know, we didn't mess with the cocaine. We knew people who had it, but we didn't mess with it.
Wasn't a lot of people doing heroin or anything.
Because that was the hard stuff. You know, we didn't mess with that stuff.
I've always looked at meth and heroin as the hard stuff and refused to do it. I mean, I did Roxy 30s for a brief while when I was 19, and that's basically synthetic heroin. But I never did the real stuff. I never shot up or anything. I've never shot up anything in my life, you know, except for testosterone, but that's prescribed and that's legal. So you can suck it if you're judging. But, and I need it. So I'm not just like some weirdo meathead who's insecure, but never did meth. At least I think I don't ever. Well, because I was talking about the shake and bake cocaine. There was probably meth in there, and I probably did meth on accident, snorted meth on accident at least 2 or 3 times in my life. But, you know, and I don't like it. I don't understand how people do it because you get really up, but you don't feel good. You just feel really geeked. And the best thing about cocaine is the dopamine flood because you feel fucking great for a while.
It's an adrenaline rush.
You get to feel real good, dude. And, you know, but then you feel real bad when you come off of it. So, like, I love cocaine, but I hate cocaine. So, but meth, dude, if I accidentally did snort it, can't say I would recommend it.
No.
Doesn't make you feel good at all. Not at all.
Nope.
I don't know why anybody, and we know this stuff is bad for you. We've known it forever. When I was a little kid, they taught us about it. Like, these drugs are real bad, meth and heroin.
You know, to me, it's like, okay, you got Coke. Now you're going to take that and put Drano and other crap in it to make another substance.
You talking about meth?
Meth, crack.
That's not how you make meth.
But it's a Coke base.
No. What I'm talking about is somebody, because I guess meth is cheaper. So they just had some Coke and then they threw in some meth with it. Well, now you're talking about shake and bake bathtub meth. Then there's probably Drano, and you can make it out of the stuff from batteries, which is fucking crazy to me.
Exactly.
Why would you smoke or snort, dude? Why would you ingest something that came out of a battery? You ever seen that? They do it in a Gatorade bottle.
Right, and it's like, well, you ever seen the movie Wraith?
No.
Okay, WRATH. It's there's a Dodge car in it. Charlie Sheen's in it when he was young.
I gotta watch it.
When he was young.
I've seen almost all his
Okay,
movies.
well, one of the guys that hang out there.
Damn, where's he at? I had him.
He's here. So
he was hanging up in here somewhere.
Yeah, where's he at?
I think he's over there actually. Yeah, there he is.
There he is.
Winning.
The
best era ever.
Well, one of the guys drinks like brake fluid and all kinds of.
Wouldn't that kill you?
Yeah, this guy was it's a weird movie. It really is. But it was a Dodge sponsored movie, Dodge cars, and they made a car. There's a group. It was out in Arizona, Colorado. There's a group of guys, street racers, and they ended up killing this kid that the main guy wants to date. Kills him. He comes back, and they got this futuristic car. And which Charlie Sheen was the guy they killed. So they show up, kill him.
Spoiler alert.
He comes back, and him in the car kills everybody in the group. So it's I mean, if you got a couple hours that you want to waste.
Well, I gotta re-hack, or I gotta re-jailbreak my Fire Stick again so I can watch all those movies. Because right now I just have Tubi and HBO Max and my ex's Netflix account.
You can probably find it on YouTube.
If she watches this episode, she's probably gonna remember me. Like, I need to change my password.
You can probably find it on YouTube. It's called Wraith. WRATH.
Man, I tried to watch Home Alone on YouTube the other day, and they had a version on there where they just kept cutting. It kept cutting. So every scene that started, they'd start and then it would cut. It would fast forward. I'm like, why you waste your time? I could watch Home Alone sped up or cut.
Well, I have noticed here lately, like on some of the reels and stuff, they changed the voice. I don't know if it's a copyright thing or whatever. They changed, like they speed the voice up or they changed the voice. So it doesn't sound like the person. I mean, they're quoting the whole movie, but the voices are different.
Yeah, so that's why.
Is that a copyright thing or something?
That's why you hear a lot of rap songs with the high-pitched vocals of samples. They do the chipmunk voice. I hate it. I hate it so much. But they do that so they don't get in trouble or have to get sample clearance. Like, what's that? I think Twisted did it with Overnight Celebrity. Remember that song?
Probably if I heard it.
Kanye was on it too. I think he produced it, but the chorus has a chipmunk voice, and it's so annoying. I hate it. For a while, that was like a really popular thing with rappers. They'd sample something and then change the octaves to a chipmunk voice so they could get away with using it. It's so stupid to me.
Yeah, we talked about that, not on the show, but we talked about that. It's like, okay, I understand if I wrote the song, it's my song, or I bought the beat, the song is mine. But once I put it out in public, it's radio stations can play the song. Okay. So why can't I play the song? Like on here, if we play something, we can't play it, because the copyright stuff.
Our intro actually gets copyrighted all the time, but they don't do anything about it. But that 1 minute we had of South Park, they wouldn't let us run the episode until we removed it. So, and you know what? That was an easy fix, by the way. I waited for so long for Dylan to fix that. And then my Stacks was like, just go into YouTube Studio. It'll tell you which part is wrong and it'll offer you the chance to remove it and it'll do it for you. I didn't know that. So for weeks we could have been did that.
That's what we're learning. This is so, but to me, once I put something out in the public domain, to me it's public. Yes, I own it. So if I take one of your beats, I need to put on there, that I sampled it from you.
Yeah, but that's only if it's all exclusive. And a lot of days, none of that stuff is exclusive.
Right. But to me, once I put it out in public, it's out there in public.
Yeah. I mean,
that's just how I look at it.
Like the song me and Country Cody did, Can't Fuck With Y'all. I think he just leased that beat. And then down the road, I heard it like 2 other times with some other artists on it, different versions, but our version is still the best, FYI. Their versions suck. But yeah, you can still keep using it. I just thought it was funny. And then I heard another beat somewhere when Trailer Made put out that album, that family album, volume 1, I think. Okay. Trailer Made, Welcome to the Trailer Park, I think it's called. I mean, I've banged the whole thing like a million times. It's a good album, but the song Don't Call My Phone, that's a good song, but recently I was like just playing random music and I was listening to Trippy the Kid and a feature came on. He's on a feature with some other guy, but the song's called No, and it's the same beat as Don't Call My Phone. I messaged Target. I was like, yo, this is the same beat. And he didn't answer me. So I don't know if it was like a coincidence or,
right,
maybe he got it from the same guy. Because it's a lease. 9 times out of 10, artists are just leasing their shit because, like Seth Anthony does major numbers, right? Millions of views and streams. So he probably owns everything that he does. But some of us on the lower end, we lease stuff and other people can lease it too. Matter of fact, the song I'm about to put out with Dirty, I got the beat off a Hard Target, but I only leased it, and he said he's probably not even going to do exclusives so he can keep making money off of them, which, I mean, that makes sense. So I'm sure somebody at some point is going to buy the Drunken Church beat, or lease it, I mean, and then make a song over it, which also it's not going to be as good as Brown Liquor featuring Dirty, by the way. So I wouldn't even waste my time if I were you, because we already nailed it. Just saying. But yeah, I'm sure that's going to happen. But who cares? You know, I mean, if you know, chances are like whoever else gets it, their audience don't know me, and vice versa.
Well, I mean, I can understand leasing a beat. I mean, you know, you can put any song over a beat, and if you lease it, the more people leasing your beat, the more your name is getting out there. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not my beat because I didn't.
Well, no. I'm just saying, if you had a beat, you instead of selling it,
you're speaking in terms of a producer.
Yeah. So you know,
my brain just kind of quit for a minute.
Or authentic.
Autistic?
Yeah.
Autism?
Yeah.
You mean artistic?
That guy.
You're on the spectrum.
Oh, I am.
Ambersynth. What'd you say earlier?
I am.
Ambersynth. Asmith.
Asmith. We're going that way. We need an Asmith to go that way. Hey, it's moving.
Finally. It's lavaing.
Lava is lavaing. But you know, I can understand.
My beard looks hella red.
Yeah, it does.
All of a sudden, why? Is this my winter coat? Little red fox. I think the green in the shirt's bringing it out. Do I need to lose another button?
Oh, good Lord.
Are we going all the way to Florida?
And he's sober.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, don't.
Yeah, but the damage has been done.
Dude.
The damage.
Dude, you're getting two. There's two guys in here. You're getting two naked.
Bro, I'm going to start walking around like this, dude, with the chest hair poking out. Like typical Florida trash. I probably hang out at the villages. You know, I drink Bloody Marys every morning.
You walk around with some loofahs.
I drive a 70s model Stingray, you know. I flirt with the waitresses at Applebee's, the 18-year-olds.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, that's the phase of life I'm entering right now. Hey, you want a bump?
What was it? Is I like coming here because I get older and they stay the same age?
No, yeah, Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. All right. Have you ever, speaking of legends.
Cool if you did.
Have you ever seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I've heard about it, but no.
It's got Leo DiCaprio.
Okay.
Brad Pitt.
So all the A-listers or were the A-listers in?
I forget. I think there's more famous people in it.
Probably George Clooney somewhere. He's in everything.
No, I don't think so. But I never even knew it existed until recently, and apparently it came out years ago. But there's a scene where Brad Pitt buys a cigarette off a hippie chick, and she's like, "You want a cigarette dipped in LSD?" And he said, "What's that? What's that supposed to do?" And she's like, "Think about it. 50 cents. You want it or not?" And he's like, "All right, here you go." And he's got a cigarette tin full of just pre-rolled cigarettes, and he throws it in there, saves it for a rainy day, and then one night he's like grabbing a cigarette. He's like, "Oh yeah, this thing." And it's yellow. Like all these cigarettes are white, but this one's yellow because it was dipped in LSD.
Okay.
And he's like, he asked his dog, like, "Is tonight the night?" And
he's like, to his dog?
Yeah, his pit bull. So he's like, "Fuck it, let's go." And he lights it up and smokes it. And then I just thought it was so funny because he's walking around about to feed his dog, and then he's like, "Whoa, the train is leaving the station." And all of a sudden the door kicks in, and it's a dude with a gun, and he's like, "Are you real?" It's a good ass movie. And then the guy's like, "Oh, I'm very fucking real, man. Who else is in it?" And he's like, starts laughing at him. And I'm like, man, I've done acid before, and I don't think I'd be laughing in that situation. Especially if I wasn't even sure if it was real. "Are you real?" "Oh, I'm very fucking real." "Oh shit, dude. You got a gun and everything, man."
Be like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, man. Fuck that. Imagine on with a head full of acid and you're just standing there holding a can of Alpo. You know?
Well, what happened was...
It's a good ass movie though, for real. Got to check it out. I think it's... Oh, I know what it is. Leo DiCaprio is the main star, and then Brad Pitt plays his like best friend / assistant.
Okay.
And Leo Leo's bragging rights is he was in a movie and he used a flamethrower.
Leo Getz.
What?
Remember Leo Getz?
No.
Oh, go ahead. Go with your story.
But anyway, he ends up using the flamethrower in real life and de-escalating a situation. And they were like, use the flamethrower? He's like, yeah, I was in this movie one time, man. And like, they let me keep it. So like, the motherfucker was getting, so I just, saved the day with a flamethrower. It was awesome. Definitely got to see it.
Yeah, I just got a flamethrower.
Yeah, just hanging out. Yeah, like they let me keep the props and it turns out it was real.
I ain't gonna say it. On the web, you can buy a flamethrower.
Yeah. I mean, Elon Musk sells them, I think.
Yes, you can buy one.
You can get them to like use for de-icing your driveway or whatever, starting a grill.
Yes.
You can do whatever you want.
I mean, we just make potato guns.
Do some arson. Yeah, man, me and my stepdad made one of those one time. That was pretty cool. You spray the hairspray in there and then light it. Or you can get the barbecue lighter and do it that way. Spray it in the back and then cap it off and then you're ready to go. That'll fucking send a goddamn tater, I tell you what.
Yes, it will. We got French fried taters.
In your mouth. Once it smacks you in the face from the potato cannon. Well, we're at an hour and a half. I guess that's plenty before it starts getting too boring. Sucks that Dylan wasn't on this episode. He's too busy fucking providing for his family. What a loser. What you got there? Looks like you're about to show something.
Well, no, Dad sent some pictures.
Are those feet pics?
No.
Are you on Feet Finder?
No. No, I got a squirrel on my camera.
It'd be a lot cooler if you were.
Yeah. No, we got some pretty good bucks on our cameras.
So you're gonna kill a deer and we're gonna smoke it, right?
I got deer meat. I don't know if y'all can.
Why haven't we smoked it yet?
Because it's already been cooked.
You motherfucker. Then you don't have deer meat.
And you can't see it anyway. But no, he moved the camera to my side. I took my cameras out after the hurricane came through and destroyed everything. So I got a squirrel there. But yeah, all the trees that are down, the hurricane that went through there demolished everything. So
when?
The last one that went through, about a month ago? A month or so ago?
I didn't even hear about it.
Yeah, that big storm that came through.
I ignore her.
A hurricane went through North Florida.
I ignore hurricane season because nothing ever happens, and I truly don't even care because fuck it.
Well, I made a lot of money doing hurricane cleanups.
Yeah. I think the first time I ended up getting some money for that, even though my house wasn't affected at all. I filed for the damage anyway from Irma.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a few $100. And then this last time around, I tried to do it again, but the problem was my address was still registered at Dade City, and it was for Tampa people only. And it was like $700, man. And I was like, that could do a lot for my music. I need to get that, but they didn't approve it because of my fucking stupid Dade City address. I was living in Temple Terrace at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. What hurricane was that? The last epic one that was like category 4 last year.
I think that's when I went through North Florida.
It was
it came up the coast.
It fucked up Fort Lauderdale pretty bad and Inglewood and all that.
I don't remember the name of them.
Damn it, dude. What was it?
The name of them I don't remember.
Oh my God. Now I'm gonna remember it as soon as we stop recording. Yeah, for that hurricane, that last one, man, I was living in Temple Terrace in a brick house, and we had metal shutters on the windows, and we got a bunch of booze and, weed, and I had to pretty much beg my girlfriend to ride it out with me because I thought, dude, I'm one of those guys, man. If we're dating and there's something crazy going on, we should probably be together for it, She wanted to be at her fucking house with her parents, and they don't even get along. They're always mean to her, and she don't like them. And I'm like, hey, dude. Why don't you come to my house for this hurricane? Hello? She's like, oh, well, I'm like, hey, dude, it's a fucking hurricane. It's dangerous. If we're gonna die, we should do it together. Maybe it's romantic. I don't know. What am I, a loser for thinking that way? I feel like if you're a couple, you should probably be together during fucking crazy times. But I had to beg her to ride that out with me, and then she finally agreed to it. So we all just hung out and played drinking games and got drunk as fuck, and nothing happened. There was just some wind, and every now and then you'd hear like a twig hit the metal shutter. And I remember my roommate Greg was pissed because he thought he was about to see a real Florida hurricane. And he kept pacing around like, nothing's even fucking happening. And I was like, I'll tell you what is happening, man. I'm getting drunk. Why are you worried about it? He's like, because I want to see some action. I was like, no, you don't. Be lucky that this is all that's happening.
Well, I mean, like I said, I've done a lot of hurricane cleanups. There's, when you got to go 30 feet up in a tree to get a casket because they floated out of the ground.
What? What, dude? You should just leave it. Landmark.
You gotta go get it.
Oh, that's the coffin tree. Yep, back in 19 fucking aught so and so.
It's a biohazard. You got to
Really?
go up there and hopefully you don't want the body in there. But now if the body's not in there, where'd the body go?
I think it's really fucking dumb to even bury people in Florida because of stuff like that.
Well, it's usually the old ones float. The new ones don't.
They'll all float.
Now
You know what I'm talking about?
right.
Pennywise.
Yes.
You didn't get the reference.
No.
Don't lie.
But
You loser. You're a loser.
But in New Orleans,
Nolans.
they float.
I've always wanted to go there, man.
Well, I've been to Mardi Gras.
I hear it sucks now, though. I hear it went to shit. All the hood rats took it over, and it's
Well,
just like crime infested.
it's like that anyway.
I heard they're like just driving around New Orleans, fucking shooting randomly out the window at random houses for no reason. Random drive-bys. I've seen all kinds of videos of it.
Yeah, it's okay.
That sucks.
But Mardi Gras is, if you can get off the road and up on a balcony, it is wild to watch.
It'd be my luck I'd go to New Orleans and end up a victim of a fucking stray drive-by, random drive-by.
Well, there's nobody driving down those streets during Mardi Gras.
Or I'd go to jail. Because I've heard like it's very easy to go to jail if you go there during Mardi Gras.
Yes. They're just going to remove you from the situation and put you somewhere, and then the next day you're out.
Well, I'm one of those people that does stuff to piss people off, and I don't even mean to do it. I'm just having a good time like everybody else, and apparently I step out of line without meaning to.
You really, you see the stuff that goes on there. You really got to step out of line for someone to take you and remove you from that situation.
They said it's pretty easy to get arrested during Mardi Gras.
I mean, if you're causing a problem in an establishment, they will remove you. Yes,
dude. I mean, one time in Wyoming, I went out drinking with my cousin and his uncle, maybe one other person, I can't recall, but we were at this bar and my cousin was wearing a leather jacket and this Frenchman was wearing a leather jacket. And my cousin and this Frenchman both took their leather jackets off, and my cousin was being a dick. Our relationship is we're dicks to each other. So I saw what I thought to be his leather jacket hit the ground. So I stomped on it. And I was like, yeah, how do you like me now, buddy? And the Frenchman was like, you step on my coat. And I was like, what? No. That's my cousin's jacket. He's like, no, this is mine.
Sorry.
And I was like, looking at Robert, and he's holding his. And I was like, oh. I was like, look here, man. I didn't mean to step on your jacket. I thought it was his. He's like, why are you stepping on people's jackets in the first place? He's being all mad. I'm like, dude, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I'm sorry I stepped on your jacket. He's like, and he starts going on about the quality. And I was like, what are you drinking, dude? And he's got a cognac glass, and he's drinking. I'm like, you are such a stereotype with the accent and the cognac. And I was like, I'll buy you one of those cognacs if you just please let this whole thing go. All right? Not a big deal. Next thing you know, we're fucking hammered together, all singing, and then he kept making jokes. He's like, well, better get me a jacket before somebody steps on it.
He's French.
But, dude, in that situation, like, I didn't even mean, like, he was so heated, and I didn't even mean for that. It's just like, that's my luck whenever I'm out, all the time. Oh, what'd you do last night? I stepped on a Frenchman's leather jacket. How? Trying to be a dick to my cousin?
Well, there I was.
All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up, huh?
Yeah.
So, we plugging anything?
We got January 12th.
January 12th, Hard Target.
Right. Country Cody, January 5th.
What? We already did Country Cody.
January 5th, he's doing a video.
Yeah.
Down or whatever.
Country Cody's doing a video release party at O'Brien's in Brandon. And then I guess they're also going to perform a little bit. Corey Spires from Trailer Made is going to be there. Who else? One other guy?
Some chick.
That's her, Corey Spires.
Oh, okay.
From Trailer Made. Okay. She's on that song Checking Account. If you haven't heard that, it's pretty good video, good song.
When I hear the name Corey, I think a dude. I don't think a girl.
Well, yeah, because he's got a homie named Corey Prime. But no, this is Corey with a K. It's a girl.
And then you got a video shoot tomorrow.
I'm shooting a video tomorrow for Overthinking.
That nobody's invited to.
No one's invited to.
All right.
Except for Chief.
is going to hold a light.
He wanted to do it, dude. He desperately wanted to come. He offered, you
I
know?
bet he wants to come. But anyway,
What does that even mean?
you're the loser.
I'm going to have 2 black guys in this room tomorrow. Look, there's going to be 2 black dudes in this room. How does that happen?
Boomer humor.
Bro, actually, yeah, I told you about sending Smiley the layout. Yeah, so I was like, hey, man, for the video, this room's kind of offensive with all the stuff going on in here. So he's like, oh, yeah, if you're down to move some stuff, we can do that. And then we were going over scenes. I thought he meant like take down the rebel flags and like anything political. He's like, all right, so check this out. This scene, you'll be walking past the Confederate flag. And I was like, dude, what? I thought we were going to rearrange the room. He's like, no, not that thing. I just meant like pull the desk out a little bit.
Dude, Smiley, very good guy.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit too much on his plate.
Well, don't we all?
Yes, but he's good guy, smart as a whip, computer genius. He can build a web page in like 3 hours.
Well, I'm glad to know him. And I can't wait to do this video and see what he does, especially seeing as how we're doing 2 locations, because Stax is going to shoot his scenes at the Boom Boom Room during his studio session, and I'm going to shoot my scenes here. It's going to be lit. We're going to do like a whole montage just all over the place, like sitting on the counter drinking, like if you hear like implied drug use, you know.
Well, since you have some of my stuff in the refrigerator, you got to have that in the background.
Yeah.
Just somewhere in the background.
I actually do need to go get a liquor bottle for the video because I need a few scenes with it. I can't use the jar. I got to use an actual liquor bottle.
Why can't you use the jar?
Because
they know what it is.
But I don't want. This isn't that kind of song. Like
that's right, brown liquor.
It would work for.
I do clear liquor.
No, this is for overthinking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, he does have a song called Brown Liquor.
Yeah, which drops January 12th, by the way, featuring Dirty from Trailer Made. It's an absolute banger, so be on the lookout. Go get the Spotify pre-save, and it's going to hit release radar. We got a lot of stuff going on. I got like this song dropping, and then we're shooting this video, and then I got 3 more songs in the chamber, and I got a bunch of beats that I'm going to do stuff with. So if I do it right, I could probably do 12 songs this year because I want to do 1 per month and then try to follow up with videos. So big stuff going on. Big stuff.
Stuff and things.
So, yeah, dude. And just like always, we're going to try to avoid adding to the population.
And do not.
And we're going to try to.
Not subtract from the population.
Well, I wouldn't mind.
We're going to try not to.
I wouldn't mind so much subtracting from the population, but I definitely don't want to add to it because there's already 2 motherfuckers here, motherfuckering about. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's what's going down so far.
And I don't have felony bail money. I got misdemeanor bail money. So don't be.
Oh, yeah. Did you know that felons aren't even allowed to use Tinder? That's for another episode, but yeah, stay tuned. We'll talk about that one.
Oh, but in jail, they get iPads. They still have access to everything.
What's it called that they use? JPEG?
JPEG.
I thought that's what a picture was, though. It's a JPEG image.
That's what they use their stuff.
See, isn't this so nice that I can just, do it from here instead of having to get up?
We're off recording?
No, we're still recording. And recording.